Hello friends! Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a reading vlog. It is currently Sunday, September 1st. It's the 1st of September. Oh my goodness, that's so crazy. And tomorrow is Labor Day. So I thought it would be fun to start out this month doing a little bit of a challenge, even though I challenged myself literally all last month. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I thought I would challenge myself and do a reading vlog the first week of September, but I wanted to do this one a little differently, so I'm gonna have my husband pick out 3 books for me to read this week. This will be a challenge for 2 main reasons. 1, 3 books in a week is a lot for me. It's a miracle if I get 1 book read in a week. 2 is like an awesome week, and 3 is just like absolutely unheard of. That only happens during readathons. But I know I can do it because I do it during readathons, so it's possible. Also, I have off tomorrow for Labor Day, so I should be able to get some good reading in tomorrow. But this will also be a challenge because Andrew has free range to pick whatever he wants from my TBR shelf. And I'm nervous. Every book on my TBR shelf is a book that I'm interested in reading, but like all TBR shelves, there's always some that I'm more interested in reading. I'm a mood reader, so I really hope he picks some mystery thriller because I have not read a mystery thriller in a month and I miss it. But if I know my husband, he will actually end up picking probably like contemporary. I don't know if you can hear him right now drumming. He actually has a gig tonight, so he'll be leaving in a couple hours to go play somewhere super late. He comes home at like 2 in the morning. So I'll be here, and I think I'm gonna read. Why not vlog it? Let's tear him away from his drums for 2 seconds, and he can help me pick out some books. Are you gonna come help me?
Yeah.
Oh, look at little Scout. Here we are in front of my TBR shelf, and Andrew is allowed to pick from any of these shelves. You get to pick 3 books, and I'm not gonna help you at all. Oh boy. Is that one you're picking?
I think so.
Okay.
Witty charming with an irresistible blend of romance, humor, and characters who steal your heart from page 1.
Okay.
It's got a girl in a nice dress on there. A similar dress that I think you would wear.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That's very true. All right.
I think you would wear that.
Book number 1, You'd Be Mine, by Erin Hahn. I'm so nervous.
Ooh.
You're picking from the same cubby hole?
Well, this one has a good title.
Oh, good title.
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna go with this one. Into the Forest.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I am not looking forward to it. All right, here is book number 2, Into the Forest by Jean Hegland. Are you just like picking one? Like, what's your thought process right now? Like, what are you looking for? Or why did these ones like catch your eyes?
Well, that one, Into the Forest, that it's like getting, I don't know, looking for something kind of spooky.
Ooh, spooky. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my last one is gonna be something that's like a little bit different from both of those.
So I will say that this one is a post-apocalyptic book.
Yeah.
So something happens. It's like not the end of the world, but I guess sort of. And it's about like 2 sisters surviving, I think. And then this one is like a straight up contemporary about, I think, like 2 musicians touring together. So
Perfect.
that's kind of what you have right now. And then you get a 3rd choice. So what's it gonna be? No pressure, no rush.
I think I'm gonna do this one.
Another contemporary?
Yes.
That's another contemporary.
The Spectacular Now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this one looks cool. National Book Award finalist. So gotta be something good there.
Alrighty, there we have it. Book number 3 is The Spectacular Now by Tim Tharp. There they are. They're very color coordinated. Lots of foliage. Oh, there's Scout. You have spoken. Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
So, Andrew has spoken. These are the 3 books that he picked. and I don't want to read any of these books. Did I not call that he was going to pick contemporary? I did. He did say that he thought that this one was like more spooky, so I'll give him that he was like trying to find something that was spooky. I don't think this is going to be spooky by any means. Like I said, Into the Forest is more of a post-apocalyptic book, and then The Spectacular Now and You'd Be Mine are contemporary. The Spectacular Now, I watched the movie years ago and I loved it, so I'm hoping I'll like the book, but I have also grown up a lot since watching that movie. You'd Be Mine is about two like musicians. I think I already saw all that stuff, but anyway, not really looking forward to these. I really want to read a mystery thriller, but I guess it's gonna have to wait. The one silver lining is that all three of these are under 300 pages each, so I should be able to read all of these no problem. Well, I'm gonna go and start reading. Hey, that's mine. That's mine. What are you doing? Are you a good boy? And we have the queen. The queen. So I started You'd Be Mine. I'm not liking it. Unfortunately, I'm just not liking it that much. I'm 60 pages in. It's the story about country music star guy named Clay and another girl named Annie. And Clay convinces Annie to come on tour with him, and they have like separate acts and stuff. And Clay is like this brooding type where he's like, oh no, I'm the jerk, you should stay away from me kind of guy. And then Annie's like this innocent, lovable character, but her parents are dead and her parents were like country stars, so she's forever living in their shadow. And I can't tell if it's like I just needed to be in the mood for this kind of book or if this just isn't for me. It's still early. One thing I will say is that this is dual perspective, so we read from Annie's point of view and then Clay's point of view, but unfortunately they just sound the same. They have the same tonality, the same way they kind of talk. There's not a huge distinction between the two characters' voices, so I actually lose track of who I'm reading from sometimes. That's kind of my critique right now, but I'm determined to read it or finish it. I mean, if I have to DNF it, then I will, but I think I'm gonna finish it. I made some peppermint tea, and I have my Switch with me, so I might actually just kind of chill out, not read too much, and I will probably check in tomorrow. Let's go. What are you doing? Do y'all want to hear the saddest story ever? So I was really excited because yesterday I bought a houseplant for the first time, a real one, and it was so cute and I loved it so much, and I bought a really cute planter and everything, and I literally killed it within hours of having it. Here she is in all her glory. Please excuse the mess. I'm like rearranging things right now. Yeah, so I was an idiot and bought this plant before church and then left the plant in the car and killed it immediately. I gave her some water when I came home and hoped that it would rejuvenate her, but she is, I think, a goner. So I'm sad because she was so pretty. So that doesn't really give me much hope for being a plant mom, but I'm gonna try anyway. I want to go back to either Home Depot or Walmart or somewhere where I can buy another house plant and get one and try again and not leave her in the car this time. That's on the agenda for today. And then also, obviously, I plan to read. Today is Labor Day, so Andrew and I have off. We are actually trying to get a lot of home things done. Our house is just so messy and cluttered right now. There's been a lot going on. And then with me being sick this last month, it's been kind of hard to just get things nice and orderly and tidy. So I'm also gonna like pull weeds, do some yard work, all that fun stuff. So there's a lot going on, but hopefully I can get in a few hours of reading. And then also when I'm doing the yard work, I probably listen to an audiobook. I found out that the audiobook for Into the Forest is on Scribd, so I can listen to that, which is great. So that's my plan. I'm just feeling really emotional right now because I posted a video on Friday where I read nothing but books with fat rep in them for the entire month of August, and the comments that I've gotten have been so kind and so encouraging. I was so scared to put out that video. I thought many times of canceling it, of throwing it in the trash, and when I was editing it, I had all of these doubts of just how I was saying the wrong things, or how this could come across, or if I wasn't explaining myself well enough. But I've only made it through maybe 20 comments so far because I've been trying to reply to all of them. To know that my heart behind that video came through and resonated with so many people, it just means a lot. Oh, I need to get myself together. Anytime I think that you're super vulnerable and you put yourself out there, especially on the internet, for everyone to critique and judge is so terrifying, and I was really scared. But just seeing the positive reaction that it has received has just encouraged me so much and has empowered me to keep making videos and to keep talking about this subject, diet culture and fat phobia, and just being vulnerable with you guys. This is a huge part of my life, and it's been a huge struggle in my life forever. And the fact that I feel free now to be able to bring that into my bookish content in an authentic way, just, it means the world. It really, really does. Like, I felt for a long time that I was hiding a lot of my life from you guys because it was like this secret thing in me that I just struggled with deeply. And now that I'm able to like talk about it and speak out about it, it's like it's just this like dark creature, and every time I talk about it, it's like light shines on it and makes it disappear. That's probably a terrible metaphor, but it's just, see it like diminishing in front of me. And so I just feel really encouraged. Anyway, I had to just jump on here and share that because I was spending some of my day just replying to the comments, and I'm getting like emotional as I read through them and respond to them. And it's just been a really humbling and amazing experience and reaction. And I'm just so happy that it didn't come across poorly anyway. Okay, so today has not gone as planned at all. We did do some housework around the house and ended up realizing that our working car, we have 2 cars, one of which is not working right now. The other one we realized had a flat tire. So we had to do the spare tire, ended up not being able to like really go out and go get plants or go get like some of the cleaning supplies we needed and stuff like that. And it's just been stressful. All that to say, I haven't done any reading yet, but I still do plan to read. I promise I will get there, and I'll have more to report on book-wise soon. Well, I'm about 150 pages into You'd Be Mine, and I'm still not liking it. Not much has changed. I don't like his character. I don't really like her character. I am bored, honestly, and it's just not my cup of tea. I think I'm gonna finish it because it's not like, I don't hate it, but it's just not what I'm into right now. Excuse my hair. I have a hair mask on. But I also started an audiobook, Into the Forest. I'm not hating it. I actually prefer it much more an audiobook. I tried to pick this up a couple months ago and read a few pages and did not like it, couldn't get into it. There was something about, I think, just the writing or maybe the mood I was in, I don't know, but I'm really enjoying the audiobook a lot more. It's a story about 2 sisters who kind of survived this post-apocalyptic situation. It's still early on in this story and you don't exactly know what happened, but they are like 35 miles away from the nearest town, but there's no electricity, there's no gas, there's no running water, and they live in their house. Their mother died and their father died, and so they're just living together. I'm only probably like 20 pages in, if that, so I really don't know a lot, but so far I'm liking it, so we'll see what happens. But that's all I have for now. I have work tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to going back to work. I always feel like the weeks after a long weekend end up feeling longer than the regular 5-day work week. I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense. What a day. Oh my goodness. Is it the weekend yet? I'm already ready for the weekend. So I wish I had more to report on the reading front, but I really don't. I read maybe a chapter, 10 pages of this on my lunch break. What else can I say? This day has just gotten away from me. Reading wise, I wanted to read a couple chapters every now and then throughout the day, and I just haven't been able to. I've had meetings, and one of my cats I think is sick, and so that's not great. I'm freaking out about that. I hate when they're sick. I won't say they're like my children because I know that that is so annoying, but I love them so much. And when one of them is sick, it's like all I can think about, and it's just breaks my heart so much. So that hasn't been fun. I've also been having kind of a hard mental health day. I really wanted to post a picture on Instagram today of like myself and do some like fun facts because I've had a lot of new people follow my Instagram, which is awesome. And I sat down to try and take pictures of myself, and I just hated the way it was looking. And it just kind of like really got into my head and really got me down. So I ended up using just like an old picture that I kind of like, and it was fine. It's fine. I need to like let it go. It just kind of has put me in a little bit of a funk today. So it's actually about 5:45. I'm done with work, and I'm actually going to work out for the first time in a month since getting pneumonia. I feel healthy. I have an inhaler if I need it, and I miss working out so much, and I think that will really help my mental health right now. Not that I need to like work out to feel fit and healthy, but it is something that just makes me feel really good from the inside out, and so I'm really excited, but I'm also very nervous because it has been a month since I've worked out, and I haven't done a month hiatus of working out in a long time, so I'm probably really out of shape, but that's okay. I'm just gonna try and do my best and go from there, and hopefully I won't die.
Keep me where the light is, keep me where the bright is. Two left feet, can you show me where the ride is? I've been on the low side, I've been on the high side. Think I need to get out, find me in the high tide. Get out of the Wi-Fi, get out of the timeline. I don't need a limelight, just a line of my time. Take me to that real life.
Well, my camera battery definitely died halfway through my workout, but I recorded a little bit of it, so you guys might see it in here. I did it though. I did the workout, and I was like dying. It was really hard, and I'm gonna be really sore tomorrow, but it was good, and I'm glad I did it, and I'm excited to be able to be working out again. At home, I really like to do this program called Daily Burn. What they do really well is that they don't focus a lot on like working out just for weight loss. Like it's really like focused on just feeling healthier, stronger, fitter, meeting goals other than losing weight. It's really inclusive. They have lots of different kinds of people. They have new workouts every single day, which is really cool. Like they literally do them in the studio every single day that day. And I love that I never do the same workout twice, and it's never boring, and a lot of other people are doing it. So I really like Daily Burn. It's like $15 a month, but I think it's totally worth it. And you can do it in an apartment, in your living room. And they also have like other separate programs you can do too, like yoga or Spartan training or HIIT or stuff like that. So I really, really like them. If you're looking for something to do, totally recommend it. But anyway, I did not finish this one yet. I'm still trudging through. I had to edit my wrap up today to post for tomorrow, so I really focused on doing that. That took a minute, and I did read a little bit of this though, and then I also listened to the audiobook for Into the Forest, so I'm making progress, but my feelings haven't changed too much. I think something I haven't mentioned in this one is just that there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of side characters to keep track of. It just seems to get lost in all of the everything that's happening between these two main characters. So I'm like powering through though. I'm determined to not DNF it because I said I would read these books and I'm going to, but I'm not enjoying my time. I need to vent. This is so petty, but I stayed up so late last night working on my video to get it uploaded today, and it uploaded, but then I went to do my thumbnail and it looked horrible. horrible. I don't know how people do the whole like pose for the thumbnail in your video and then use that as your thumbnail photo, because the photo looks terrible. The quality is so bad. Am I doing it wrong? I don't understand, but my quality is terrible. I feel like I have a decent camera. I don't know what the trick is. If you know what the trick is, let me know. Anyway, the thumbnail looked terrible, so I had to like spend my lunch break putting makeup on my face, putting the same shirt back on that I wore for the video 3 nights ago, and take photos for the thumbnail. And I just want to say that YouTube is hard. It's not willy-nilly, no effort goes into it. Being thoughtful about your content and what you're doing. And I'm like trying to do a whole sort of like rebrand-ish with my thumbnails and make them consistent, and it's like so hideous right now because I'm in that like transition stage. So just a little behind the scenes YouTube vent session for you. I love Booktube so much, but I think sometimes not everyone always knows how much goes into it, and there's so much that goes into it. Part of your heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears. Not to mention like the time it takes to read the books and then talk about them and stuff. So yeah, there's just a lot that goes into it. It's very fun and I love it so much, and I do it because I love it. But I just respect the heck out of anyone that does this because it's hard and work goes into it. I'm done venting. I wish I had more to say about the book, but I spent my lunch break working on my darn thumbnail, so I don't, and I'm so sorry because this vlog so far is just me basically updating you guys, telling you how much of the book I have not read. I actually am very determined to finish this sucker today. I promise I will. I will. I'm promising myself. Do you hear that, Zoe? You're finishing that book today. Fun fact, there's a little Scout. That's not the fun fact. But the fun fact is that my cat, George, will only play with these rubber bracelets. He loves them. Like, loves them. He goes crazy for them. So we buy them for him to play with. And I will show you guys what I mean. George, do you want it? Do you want it? Come here. Come here. Oh, ready? Can you bring it here? Come here. Come here. George. Misha, you intercepted. Georgie, what do you have? Do you want it? What? Oh. Oh my. Can I have it? Oh. Ready? Ready? Good job. And he likes for me to throw them. But sometimes he gets overexcited and scratches me. But it's cute. You're about to be so proud of me because I finished. I did it. It's 10:45 and I finished it and I didn't like it. So let's talk about it. Where to start with this book, you guys? It was not my type of book. Let's start with that. I think that this book could work for a lot of people. If you enjoy cheesy contemporary, if you enjoy reading books about musicians, this could totally work for you. I feel like if you're a fan of books from Casey West, those kinds of like cheesy contemporary books, you would probably really enjoy this. I have only read one Casey West book and I totally hated it. And I just think that these books probably aren't for me. It's frustrating though because they totally used to be for high school Zoe, like middle school, high school, maybe even early college years. Zoe would have probably loved this, but alas, it just isn't for young adult Zoe. Overall, I was just really annoyed kind of by this whole story. I didn't love the main characters. I didn't care for their romance. There was definitely insta-love. And I think on a personal note, little fact about me is that I was a musician. I went to college for music, studied music, did the music thing. I'm also married to a musician now. So when it comes to reading books about musicians, it's usually a really big miss for me. I think I'm slightly bitter and jaded when it comes to like just musicians as a whole, I have been immersed in that life for so long that to read books about musicians, like I just don't want that. I thought this one would be fun. Two teenagers, they go on tour together and they fall in love. It sounds really fun and like cute, but tortured artists, like I think because like I used to be one, that it's just I'm so burned out with that. I want nothing to do with that anymore. And that was definitely like the main guy character was the complete cliche, quintessential tortured artist. He pushed everyone away. He was like such a jerk. He was so mean to the female who was opening for his tour. He seemed to get like free pass after free pass. He ends up having a drug problem and then like comes to his senses magically without rehab, like talks to some old wise guy, jumps in a lake, emerges and is made new. It just was so cheesy. It was so cheesy. This was the author's first novel and I don't want to bash it at all. I really don't. I just thought there was a lot of telling and not showing in this book. Just a lot of memories and like flashbacks of where these characters kind of came from, which is fine, but it was like overkill. It was a lot. There were a lot of characters, and I think all of those flashbacks and memories were supposed to support the characters and like who they were, but it just was so often that it took me out of the story that was actually happening in the present. I also thought that the guy treated the girl really poorly, and one thing that I'm just not a fan of, like I love a solid enemies to lovers story. I really do. But what I can't stand is when in that process, the enemy just gets forgiven for everything that he or she has done without ever having to like actually reconcile and like say, I messed up. It just seems that there's like this free pass, like, oh, you've had a really hard pass. That's why you're a jerk. So, okay, it's fine. I just don't really like that. I just don't jive with it. Really didn't enjoy this, but I finished it, so that's good. So tomorrow I will start The Spectacular Now, which I think I will like. I hope I will like. I guess we'll see. And then I'm going to keep listening to the audiobook for Into the Forest. I am not loving that one right now either, unfortunately. It's very like slice of life, memoir-ish, a lot of flashbacks again. There's just not a lot of action. All of these books. I feel so bad. I didn't want to not like these books, but unfortunately that's where we are. So I did have something happen today that kind of was a bummer. I uploaded a video and had my first ever troll/hate comment on the video. And I know that being on the internet, it just comes with the territory, but I think it always hurts a little bit when someone, especially a stranger, makes such a flippant comment about your character for so many other people to see. A comment that is just so completely wrong and shocking and just not okay. It really like took me by surprise, and I wish I wasn't, but I'm a sensitive person. It's just who I am. I take a lot of things to heart, and I wish that like vulnerability and being sensitive and being like a soft person was seen as something that is strong and valuable, but sometimes I just feel like it makes me weak. And yeah, I don't know, it just got to me. It really kind of bugged me and put a little like halt into my night, and I wish it didn't, but it did. But it's okay. I've just made like two very, very best friends through having Bookstagram and Booktube, and we talk like every day, and I just love them and their support, and they were just so nice and encouraging and empathetic when I talked to them about it, and I feel a lot better about it. So I'm just kind of like letting it go and remembering that I have people in my corner who believe in me and who love me, and I don't need to focus on the trolls. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully tomorrow won't bring any trolls, and it'll just be a nice little Thursday. I woke up this morning with more comments from that person, from that troll, and it's just so disappointing. It's so sad to be called so many things that are not true, and to have someone so publicly try and like shame you and embarrass you and call you out when everything they said was not true about me, and it just hurts. I want to not care, and I want to be strong and have thick skin, and I do. It just hurts. And I also found out today that YouTube has flagged my fat rep video for being basically not suitable for advertisers. So I was so excited because a couple of days before I posted that video, I hit the goal to be monetized and to be a YouTube partner, and it was like such an exciting thing. And I don't expect to make any money doing these videos, but it was just a goal. It was just something like fun and exciting. And when you do make content and put energy into the content you're making and time and love and care, it means a lot to meet those goals and then to possibly make some scraps of money. I mean, it's exciting, it's cool, and I was so excited to post that video, and it has gotten so much love, and I am so humbled by the response it's gotten and excited. And then to have YouTube say, no, like we're not gonna compensate you or monetize you on this video. This video that I'll probably never have the same response on any other video I do. And this video that meant so much to me and that I put so much time and energy into, and literally nothing in that video is inappropriate. Nothing in that video goes against their content guidelines at all. I didn't cuss, I didn't bully, I literally read every single one of their rules and guidelines for content, and nothing is inappropriate, and for some reason they're demonetizing because of that. And I submitted it for review thinking, well, maybe it just like automatically flagged it because the word fat is in the title. And when you submit it for review, an actual human being will go and watch the video and usually like fix that and make it so it's acceptable and monetized. And I submitted it for review and it still got rejected. And it just sucks. And I know that these are like really petty, stupid things. It's not the end of the world. It's really not. It's just disappointing. It's disappointing when you put a lot of time and effort into something and something like that happens. I'm gonna try and just remember that having the video flagged like that doesn't make it any less important or special, and I'm still so proud of what I did, and I'm proud of that video. I need to remember that it's more important than the monetization, which it always was. It was never about that. It was just exciting. It was cool and exciting, and I'm just confused as to why it would be flagged by YouTube. Like, I don't understand, and I wish whoever reviewed it could have given me feedback as to why it was flagged. It just doesn't make sense, and so I'm just frustrated. I'm having a morning. I'm hating the way I'm like looking. I'm having a hard time. It's funny, like last month I read all of these books about amazing characters, and it was like something that just encouraged me the entire month, and I had such a good month. I was constantly consuming content that had encouraging, inspiring people, and it's only like 5 days into this month and I'm just struggling so hard. I wish it was just so much easier to negate the negative talk and just the voices in your head and the way I see myself in a mirror. It's just so frustrating that it can't just be something that's just easy. Okay. It's okay. It's just a morning. It's just a day. And it'll get better. And it'll be okay. I'm not gonna let this ruin my day. I'm gonna get back to work. I'm going to go make some breakfast and take care of myself, and it'll be okay. It's just another day. It is Friday, and I'm feeling better than yesterday. I just had a really bad day yesterday, and I don't know what was going on with me, but I am grateful for friends who lovingly encourage me to take a step back. And so yesterday I made the decision to just unplug completely from anything Booktube, Bookstagram, Book Twitter related. I just needed to chill out. I was finding myself very fixated on just little things, not that they don't matter, but in the grand scheme of my life was not the end of the world. And I knew that, like, I knew that in my brain, but my body wasn't reacting that way. And I just was getting sucked into very little things, and it just was like totally making my mental health spiral yesterday. So I took a break. I didn't go on any of those platforms all night last night, and that also included just me not vlogging. I just needed a break. So I took it, and I feel much better, and I'm so glad that I did that. I think sometimes it's just so needed to step away. And as much as I love this community, and I love making these videos and taking the pictures and engaging with people, I definitely tend to sometimes try and find my identity in these things, and I lose my sense of actual self and worth because it's so easy to start comparing myself and really focus in on people's comments about things, and you just start to lose yourself. And that was happening to me yesterday. I wanted to encourage you guys that if that does happen, and if you start feeling that way, like, please take a break, take a step back. This community, as amazing as it is, like, it can get really overwhelming and sometimes easy to get fixated on things, and there's just more to life. I did listen to the audiobook for Into the Forest last night. I took some time and I just started a new cross-stitching project and listened to the audiobook, and I'm not hating it. It's not awful. Like I said, it's very slice of life. It's about these two sisters who are like 18, and they lost their mom and their dad, and they live in this house like 35 miles away from town. I think I already said all of this, but basically it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic story, and it's told from the perspective of one of the sisters. She is writing in this journal, and she's basically like chronicling everything that happened leading up to her parents passing away and the earth running out of gas and electricity and running water and all that stuff. So it's interesting. It's just not very action-packed, but I'm not hating it. It's not horrible. It's just not what I wanted it to be. I like a little bit more action in my post-apocalyptic dystopian world books, but that's okay. It's still pretty good. So I hope to finish that soon. Tonight, Andrew has a gig, so I will be chilling at home by myself. I have to work, and I'm gonna run to Hobby Lobby to grab more string because I need that for my project, and I'm probably just gonna like chill, listen to the audiobook, work on my cross stitching, and be the old lady that I am. Should be a nice, relaxing night. It's 1:30 in the morning. I have still not finished any of the books, but I did get much farther into the forest. I have like 3 hours left of the audiobook, and I'm actually liking it the more I listen to it. It's definitely a slow-paced book, but it's a really good story. Hopefully we'll finish it tomorrow, if not Sunday. I didn't start what's the name of the other book? I literally can't remember the name of the other book. But I am gonna bring it to bed, even though I'm probably gonna fall asleep in like 2 seconds. I need to kick it in high gear to finish these books by Sunday. So that's what I'm gonna do. Why do I do this to myself? It's Saturday! Here is a montage of my day. So as you can see, I had a fairly busy Saturday. I woke up, Andrew made pancakes, some coffee, watched some Great British Baking Show, and then I worked out. Then I went and grabbed coffee and cupcakes with a friend. Then I got lost on my way home and got a flat tire, and Andrew had to save me. And then I came home and I started reading The Spectacular Now by Tim Tharp. I also listened a little bit more to the audiobook of Into the Forest, and I only have about 2 hours left of this book. I am definitely going to finish it tomorrow and hopefully finish Spectacular Now. I got 100 pages in. It's not a hard book to read at all. It's definitely an easy to read book. We follow our main character, Sutter, who is basically like a teenage alcoholic. He is, I think, like 17 years old, and he's in high school. He has his girlfriend, but he drinks a lot, and he has his job, but he drinks a lot, and these friends, but he drinks a lot, and it's like everything about him is very funny and comical, and he likes to make light of every situation, and it kind of starts to drive away the people in his life, and then obviously the drinking is an issue. And one night he's out drinking and driving, and he ends up waking up in the middle of someone's lawn, and this girl is like standing over him, and he ends up befriending the girl. They go to high school together, and she kind of starts to see the real him, if you will. And it seems like he also tries to kind of like not give her a makeover, but wants to like make her less socially awkward, and I don't know, it just seems like he has kind of ulterior motives to be her friend. That's kind of where I am in the book right now. I think I kind of remember what happened in the movie, but I honestly watched it so long ago that I'm not quite sure how it ends. I am really annoyed by Sutter's character. I mean, I think that you're supposed to be. I don't think he's necessarily supposed to be a likable character. His personality is likable, but his choices are so awful that you're like, why are you this way? It's no wonder people don't like you. Like, you make bad decisions. So not loving him, not hating the book. I read so much contemporary in August that I just have no desire to read contemporary right now. I'm definitely not in the mood, but because these are the books that Andrew picked out, I need to read them. So I'm kind of forcing myself to keep going. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, like, why did you have these books on your shelf if you don't like them? And I will say I had great intentions with these books. I like contemporary. I think it's just contemporary was always my favorite genre, and so I always think that I'm going to like it, but I honestly think I have just grown out of it, and so I very much have to be in the mood for contemporary, and it has to be very specific kind of contemporary. This one I am enjoying more. It's definitely picking up. It was a slow start to get to the like fun, how were they gonna survive, crazy scenarios, post-apocalyptic situations. We're definitely in that more now, and I'm enjoying it more now. So this one has picked up, and this one has gotten a little bit better. I'm very curious to see how it will end, if it'll be a good ending or a bad ending. I could see it being very sad, but I hope it's not very sad because I do like the two sisters, so hopefully they will survive their dire situation. I need to go to bed. 2 books to finish by tomorrow. Let's do this. It is 11 o'clock and I did it. I finished the books. I read The Spectacular Now, which I literally just finished, and Into the Forest, which I listened to on audiobook while I painted my nails. Let's talk about the one that I liked first, which was Into the Forest. So I listened to this on audiobook, and this is actually a pretty old book, which I didn't know going into it. It was published in 1996. I was like, how old was I in 1996? I was like 5 years old. A little bit older. The audiobook was a little rough. It was weird. The quality was just not very good. I literally had to listen to it on 2 times the speed, which I can never do for any other audiobooks, but it was so slow. The actor wasn't awful, but it was just a little bland, and there was like background noise. You could sometimes hear like people talking in the background noise. While I wouldn't recommend the audiobook, I'm glad I did listen to it on audiobook because this was such a slow burn. The first quarter of the book I really didn't enjoy, but it paid off in the long run. It was something that was necessary to kind of set it up, show what these characters went through, and why they are the way that they are now. I would say that the first half of the book is very character driven, and then the second half of the book is very plot driven. Ultimately, it was a good payoff. I do prefer things that are a little bit more plot action driven. I'm actually surprised at how much I ended up enjoying this. Their house is 35 miles away from town, so they're pretty much stuck there. Their car doesn't have any gas. They can't go anywhere, so I don't want to really give away what actually does happen just because it surprised me a little bit and it really intrigued me, and overall I actually really liked this and I really want to watch the movie now. It's very possible I like the book better than the movie just because I'm curious to know how they would pull this off in a movie. I'm liking it the more I let time go on, but I'm not quite sure about my star rating yet, so have to wait until my monthly wrap up to hear my star rating, I think, because I'm just not quite sure yet what I want to rate it. And then I also finished, finally, The Spectacular Now. I feel like this took forever to read and nothing happened. I just really wasn't a fan of this. It is a contemporary. Again, I remember watching the movie and really liking the movie, and as I got closer to the end of the book, I remembered what happened in the movie and being really shocked by what happened in the movie. Similar things don't happen in the book, and so there just was no payoff reading this story. Like, our main character is this jockey guy in high school who's also an alcoholic and sleeps with any woman that passes him by, meets this girl, and in a way, like, sort of befriends her as like a charity project. It was not great, and I know he was supposed to be unlikable, and then he does something in the end that's like supposed to be sacrificial and I guess redeem him, but it wasn't enough in my opinion to redeem him at all, and he's still an alcoholic, he's still selfish and cocky, and like, there was nothing good about this, like, at all. I feel like I remember in the movie there was more of a redemption arc, which this needed. I didn't like this. I was really disappointed by the characters and like all of their choices. All right, that's the end of my reading vlog. I read 3 books that my husband picked out for me, and I only kind of liked one of them. So maybe he shouldn't be choosing the books that I read. I don't know. I might do this again as a challenge. Have some of my other friends pick books for me to read. Like, I'm glad that I read these books because they were on my TBR shelf and it helped clear out some books from my backlog, but I miss mood reading, and for the rest of the month I am committed to reading books that I want to read because I just need that after this challenging week of trudging through these books. If you have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye!